A life that looks like a pile of ruins. Plans destroyed, gates burned, and a shame that won't go away. In Nehemiah 2:17, he makes an invitation that resonates even today. Come, let us rebuild the wall, so that we will no longer be in disgrace. Stay with me because today you're joining our rebuilding movement. Imagine a city that was once the center of the world. Now, all that remains are ashes, stones, and deep mourning. The gates that guarded kings were completely burned down there. Nehemiah hears the news and feels the weight of it immediately. Your current life may look exactly like this sad scenario. People passed by and felt nothing but shame for Jerusalem. To live without walls is to live exposed to every external attack. Nehemiah wasn't there, but his weeping carried far and wide. He understood that the problem there wasn't just physical. It was a real crisis of identity and protection today. He was the cupbearer of a very powerful king at the time. I had comfort, good food, and a stable life there. But his heart was beating in the distant ruins. Diagnosis in the ashes is the first step here, right now. You need to face what was truly destroyed. Many people are avoiding the pain of looking at the wreckage today. They prefer to pretend that the wall is still standing all the time. But Nehemiah chose the path of truth and mourning. He asked how the survivors and the city were doing. That courage to ask is what initiates change. His shame transformed into a greater purpose. The diagnosis was not meant to generate only deep sadness. It was intended to generate an engineering plan and a new way of life. If you feel like your life is in ashes today, this video is your total reconstruction project. Imagine night falling silently over Jerusalem now. Nehemiah cannot sleep. The weight of the ruins suffocates him. He mounts his animal silently, without torches or guards. The only light comes from the moon reflected off the gray rubble. He walks through the gaps, listening to the wind in the desert. He needed to see the extent of the damage without an audience present. Silent diagnosis is the foundation of any real victory. Often we want to share our plans too quickly. We seek validation even before analyzing the actual terrain. Nehemiah experienced pain firsthand, in utter darkness. Do your midnight inspection of your life today too. There's no point in lying to yourself about the current ruins. See where your wall really fell down right now. Was it related to your finances, emotions, or faith today? Nehemiah mentally noted every detail that night. He was preparing the logistics for the big restart. When he spoke to the people, he had complete authority there. He didn't talk about theories, he talked about the actual rubble. People believed him because he knew their secrets. No one rebuilds what they didn't have the courage to inspect. Comment below if you've tried to hide your ruins today. It's genuinely scary to look at what went wrong. But it is in this darkness that the plan of light is born. Nehemiah finished the tour and already knew the right way. He was ready to summon the army of builders. 52 days seems like a short time to build walls. Jerusalem was enormous and the stones were very heavy. But speed was a pure war strategy there. Nehemiah knew that time was his greatest enemy. If it took too long, the opposition would gain too much strength. The impossible record was achieved through impeccable management. He divided the wall into very well-organized sections. The focus wasn't just on building, it was on never stopping. Inertia is what kills most new beginnings today. He maintained the accelerated pace to create a shock. You may have been putting off your rebuild for years now, trying to do everything perfectly and missing the ideal timing. Nehemiah teaches that speed creates renewed energy. When people see progress, they work harder. The record wasn't luck, it was focus on the schedule. Nehemiah's logistics involved materials and people working together. He didn't waste time on pointless bureaucracy in the construction project. Every hour counted toward closing the first major breach. Speed protects the project from being abandoned prematurely. Learn how to take quick steps to overcome discouragement. What area of your life needs a collective effort? Don't plan for next year, do it now. The time of Nehemiah was a miracle of discipline. 52 days can change the whole story. All you need is the map and the courage to begin. Nehemiah gave an order that would change logistics today. He ordered each man to remain armed at all times. In Nehemiah 4:17 we read, "With one hand they worked, And with the other hand they held the weapon, the text says. They were ready to build and fight together. This is the active defense technique for you. You're rebuilding your career, but the world attacks you. Don't drop the tool because of gossip. But don't ignore the danger that surrounds you either. Work towards your dream while watching out for emotional weaknesses. Balance is the key word in this sacred engineering. Many people stop building in order to argue with those who attack them. Nehemiah knew that the best response was the wall. Keep your sword sharp, but don't stop the brick. The noise from the construction will be louder than the fighting. There were guards positioned at all the high points there. The communication system was the sound of the trumpet. They were prepared for any emergency on the construction site. Protect your mind while you study or work. The sword is your prayer and your vigilance. Have you ever felt that just when things start to get better, they relapse? It's normal for opposition to arise when the wall goes up. Don't be alarmed by the noise of distant enemies. Hold firmly to the tool and trust in your sword. The work won't stop just because you're watching. How did he manage to motivate so many people in such a short time? The strategy was brilliant. Rebuild in front of the house. Each family was responsible for the wall on their street. This created a sense of urgency and personal care. If the wall fell there, their house would fall. Personal interest fueled that enormous undertaking. No one wanted to be responsible for the family's failure. They took great care in fitting the stones together for their own safety. Working on what directly affects you brings more focus. Start rebuilding what's closest to you. We often want to change the world, but we forget about home. Nehemiah focused on the micropolitics of each neighborhood there. The sum of these small neighboring efforts built the city. Your life improves when you take care of your subway. Become an expert at rebuilding your own daily routine. Don't try to hug the entire wall at once. Look at what's in front of the door: your sleep, your diet, and your interactions with people. When you solve your sector's problems, the wall grows. This technique prevents the exhaustion of carrying everything alone. This union of neighboring forces created a solid wall. They helped each other, but each one looked after their own business. This is decentralized leadership, and it's very effective in practice. Take responsibility for your piece of the wall today. Comment if you've ever tried carrying the entire wall. Sanballat and Tobiah watched from a distance, laughing loudly. Tobias pointed to the stones and said, laughing, "Even a fox could knock down that wall if it jumped over it." They expected the workers to lower their heads now. But Nehemiah did not stop working for even a second. Learn to identify who the Sanballats of life are. People who have never lifted a stone but judge everything. They use sarcasm to hide their own cowardice there. Don't listen to those who aren't covered in mud. The noise from critics is music to the ears of those who build. Nehemiah's response was prayer and more bricks. He didn't go down to the ground to debate with them. Those who are on top of the fence don't hear gossip. Keep your vision at the forefront of the construction you do. The critic is dying of envy at your rapid progress. They tried to schedule meetings to talk with Nehemiah now. It was a trap to remove him from his position. Beware of distractions that seem like invitations for help. Some people just want to steal your precious time. Say, "I am doing a great work," and don't stop. The wall became so high that the critics fell silent. The result is the only argument that silences the mockers. Don't waste your breath trying to convince someone who hates you today. Spend energy setting the next stone down with great force. Your victory will be the loudest noise they will ever hear. Where did the stones for the new wall come from? Nehemiah used what was already there, in the ruins. He recycled the rubble from the previous failure to build. This is efficient engineering and intelligent construction. Nothing is lost when the foreman knows. Your past mistakes aren't just emotional baggage today. They are the raw material for your new self. Use the lessons from what has fallen to build something strong. A fallen stone can be the foundation for a new one. What remains of your pain is your foundation. Recycling rubble requires patience to clean the old stones. Remove the dirt, charcoal, and leftover fire debris. Parts of its history have been burned away by time. Wash these stones wisely and use them again. You are made of what has survived your winters. Nehemiah's wall bore the memory of the ruins that stood there. but the setup was now much more modern and secure. Don't be afraid to use what's left of you. Often, the best stone is the one that has already fallen. It has already been tested by fire and it's still there. What do you have in your hands that looks like trash? It could be a forgotten talent or a hard lesson. Nehemiah did not ask the king for new stones to begin with. He used what the people already had on the ground. Reconstruction begins with what remains after the battle. Imagine the metallic sound of the trumpet echoing in the dry valley. It was a sign that an attack was beginning there. All the workers dropped their shovels and picked up their bows. Nehemiah's security system was swift and lethal. Clear communication is what prevents disasters on the construction site. The "I can't go down" was the trumpet call. Nehemiah received 5 invitations to negotiate in the valley today. These were peace proposals that concealed real intentions of death. His response was a decree of absolute focus and learn to say no to what is merely good. Good is the greatest enemy of great. Many distractions come disguised as golden opportunities today. If this pulls you off the fence, it's a trap. Keep your number one priority at all times. Those who step down from the wall lose sight of the bigger picture. Saying, "I can't go down," is an act of power. It shows that you value your time and your calling. Don't give long explanations to those who want to distract you. Just keep hammering your stone now. Consistency is the secret language of great winners. Do you have difficulty saying no to others? Remember the wall that is still open within you. Every time you go down, the work stops completely. Stay on top. Finish what you started today. The valley can wait, but its wall cannot. The wall was finished, but the main gates were missing. Listen to the sound of the heavy hinges being installed into place. The gate is what determines who enters and exits. This is the most vulnerable moment for any large-scale project. Installing the doors requires engineering of absolute precision. Many people reach 90% completion and then stop the work. They build the wall, but leave the door open. This allows the enemy to enter from the front now. The closing is the most difficult and technical part. Don't get discouraged when you're nearing the end of the journey. Installing the locks requires careful attention to internal security. Who are the people you let in today? Your wall is high, but your door is wide open. Nehemiah chose faithful guards to watch over the gates there. Learn to select what enters your mind. Adjusting the gates symbolizes control over one's life. You decide what deserves your time and attention. Without doors, you're just an empty public hallway. Have the courage to lock away what makes you lose yourself. Rest only comes when the door is closed. You're almost finished with your big project. Don't stop now that the wall is already high. Put on the locks, adjust the axles, and celebrate a lot. Total security comes from paying attention to every detail. The foreman finishes what he started. The wall was completed in exactly 52 days. Nehemiah 6:16 says that they recognized God's intervention. The city that was once a disgrace has become a symbol of power. Nehemiah changed the identity of an entire people there. God's engineering transformed grief into dance. Your life too can undergo this complete transformation. Today's ruins will be tomorrow's witness. Nehemiah did not just build a wall of cold stones. He built a new story of hope for everyone. The final decree is that you are a reconstructor. Don't accept the label of destroyed that the world gives you. Remember the technique: diagnosis, action, focus, and door. Biblical wisdom is the sharpest tool that you have the map. Now put your hand on it. The rubble is gone. The wall is. Nehemiah finished the work and gave glory to God. He knew that strength always came from above. Your 52-day journey begins in the next minute. Be strong and courageous like the king's cupbearer. Its reconstruction will be a beacon of light for many people now. Share this video with anyone who needs a fresh start. Help spread Nehemiah's engineering of hope. Let's work together to rebuild the walls that time has torn down. May God bless you in every stone you lay. Your wall will be proof of your miracle. If this content helped you see that your ruins are not the end, I invite you to join our groups on community, etc. Tribe of Rebuilders. This channel isn't just for watching stories. It's for anyone who has decided that you will no longer live on top of rubble. If you want to use the depth of the Bible to shield your mind and rewrite your story, this is the place for you. Our mission is to train people who, like Nehemiah, pick up the tool when everyone else runs from the dust. By enrolling, you don't just gain knowledge, you make a commitment to close the gaps in your own life. Hit the follow button and join this movement of those who build with one hand and watch over with the other. Let's show the world that with the right strategy, any ruin can become a palace again. Thank you for being part of this project with us.